across a post that said that black women
Mm-hmm.
are the cause of DL men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What you got to say about that?
I know you fucking lying.
Oh,
Like, at this point, I know y'all hate us, but come on now. You can't be fucking serious. Like, y'all literally blaming us for something that we literally have no parts in. Like, we literally have no parts in. Like,
so no parts at all. So you just ended these innocent victims, huh? Huh? Child. So what if you have a son and what you think this lady gonna do if one of her sons come out as zesty, huh? She gonna be you think she gonna be happy? She gonna celebrate that he living his truth? Hell nah. Hell nah. She gonna be mad AF, okay? In her bonnet on talking about you like dolls. Don't you like no Barbie dolls, Tyrone? Little black king running around. But he have an interest in playing with dolls, right? Instead of football. What you think she gonna do? She gonna be mad AF. Ooh, don't let the sun come out as trans. Ooh, girl. She is gonna have a fit. Ooh, she is not going to be well with that one. Let's continue. Hold on. Let me see what she's saying.
you gonna blame me for you getting bent over by another motherfucking man and laying about it.
You see how they try to emasculate bisexual men? You see that? See, so when a man come out as bisexual, like a man that she wouldn't be interested in dating, right? What you think he gonna? If he said, hey, I did something with a man before, you think she gonna care if he was the bottom or the top? No, she not gonna care. She gonna be like, what? You getting bent over? See, they try to emasculate. You see. So what incentive do these men have to be honest with y'all? They don't have no incentive at all. They might. It's better off for them to just lie, have access to your body, and then bounce. Yeah, that's why they be. Yeah, that's why they treat y'all how they treat y'all. I'm telling you. And she's also thinking that most men are straight. She come from that environment or that generation. No, they're not. They're not. Most of them are actually bi. And you are finding out about it because of social media, because the world is now connected in 2026. And it's shocking to you because you grew up in the patriarchy. You grew up thinking that, all men are 100% heterosexual. All you got a poom poom between your legs, and that's all you need to keep a man. Child, BS, bullshit. When was the last time poom poom kept a man, huh? Can somebody tell me in the comments, when was the last time poom poom and having a dude baby kept him? It has never kept him, child. It will never, ever. It has never worked. And yet here you are thinking that this is one of those people that think that. I'm telling you, just give these bisexual men grace, okay? Just like how you want somebody to give you grace for wearing a bonnet out in public and not having any edges, you need to give grace to these bisexual men, okay? When they come out and tell you their truth, and don't be trying to degrade them, okay? Yeah. You want somebody to give you grace and not degrade you for wearing a bonnet in public. Give them grace for being bisexual and liking another man occasionally, okay? Okay, it ain't like the man coming out being Saucy Santana or somebody, or Jeffree Star, or James Charles. Damn. He's still a masculine man, like how you want your black kings to be masculine. But, he just like a man occasionally every now and then. That's it. That's all it is. Jesus Christ. Let's continue.
So it's our fault that it's DL white men too.
Oh, Lord.
I can't make this up. Like the white man went busting y'all down in slavery.
Ooh.
Like, is that not when it first get started at? I'm just trying to make sense of this shit. Like, come the fuck on. Like, I know y'all hate us, but damn.
Okay, so that's a new one. This one is crashing out, really crashing out on the internet, talking about blaming the white man and slavery for black men in 2026 being DL. Okay, so that's a new one. I don't think I've ever heard that excuse before. Yeah, it's just the lack of accountability here for me talking about okay, maybe you might have a point, okay, and back when slavery was happening, 100, 200 years ago, right, when slavery was going on, okay, you might have had a case for DL black men, black kings existing back then, okay, but none of those people back then exist or are living now. So what is the excuse now for black men being DL in 2026? Huh? Can you tell us what that is? Because there's none of those people who were around during slavery exist today. Yeah, I know. Okay, this is the type that definitely would create a DL man. She would be the preciouses of the world, raising a son, talking about, boy, you better not cry, you better not, just raising a hard masculine man, and now he this hard masculine dude who's violent. And you wonder why he violent, because you raising to be hard, because a lot of times the father don't be there. And so they want to try to be the father and the mother at the same time. And you can't do that. And their version of being a father, in their eyes, is to be this hard masculine dude who don't cry. And that is a demonic, warped sense of what masculinity is. That is why DMN exists. I'm telling you.
I just
I mean, you really can't make this up, because you already teaching the boy at a young age to lie anyway to you as a woman, because you already caught him playing with Barbie dolls, and maybe dressing in high heels or something in your closet when you come home from work one day. Now you teaching him to act like he don't really like it, but he really do like that stuff. But you want him to play football. So now you already teaching him to lie, because he knows when he's around you, he got to be honest, or he can't be honest. He got to lie and say, yeah, he really like football. Already the beginning, you see how the DL man mentality is being created? All right, let's continue to the next one.
That man is battling with his sexuality, and I just really wish that these men had more safe space, that they could really live in their truth and be themselves. You know what I'm saying? It'll cut down the STD rate. It'll just cut.
See, there they go, bringing up STDs again when it comes to bisexual men. It's like, well, listen, I never understood what the obsession was with that. If you both get tested, right? You both go to the clinic and the tests come back negative for everything. What's the problem? And if you're really paranoid, use a condom. And if you're really, really paranoid about houses in Virginia, you know what I mean when I say houses in Virginia, right? Okay. The H and the I and the, you know what I'm saying? The hot sauce. Okay. Well, if you're really concerned about that, get on PrEP. Y'all do know that PrEP is for women too, right? Y'all do know that straight people can take PrEP too, right? Okay. You do know that PrEP is not just for gay men, right? Okay. So yeah, get on all of these things if that is what your concern is. But see, that's not what the real concern is. The real concern is not STDs. The real concern is homophobia, general homophobia towards gay men, or towards bisexual men. I'm not talking about gay men, we're talking about bi men here. They always bringing up houses in Virginia like it's some kind of gotcha moment, as if men can't get STDs from women. Okay, as if men can't get the bumps from women, as if men can't get houses in Virginia from women. It happened to Magic Johnson, right? It happened to Eazy-E, that rapper, right? And countless others. That's just who are not famous, but just regular men who, we don't know about, who are not famous. So yeah, miss me with the BS. Okay, y'all are just homophobic. Y'all just bringing up STDs as a common talking point, and it's like it don't really hit like that, because there's ways of preventing STIs and STD. It's making y'all come across like y'all don't know how to protect yourselves from an STD when Google is free. Okay, so just proceed with the same caution that you would with a straight heterosexual man. What, all the caution go out the window just because the man is heterosexual? And see, that's another problem why that these men be giving y'all these STDs, because y'all don't think y'all can get tested, because y'all need to get tested because y'all both straight or whatever, allegedly. And see, that's the problem right there. Y'all need to change that mentality. All right, y'all are not exempt from STI just because y'all straight. Stop that nonsense. That's why these rates are so hog on high. See what the CDC got to say about y'all out here in these streets. All right? Dang.
And I'm not gonna lie, y'all need to stop torturing females. Be who you are for your pride. Like, y'all not really understanding. Y'all want to still be in the closet. Like, me personally, I asked my ex, I'm like, bro, if you're DL, just be DL. If you're bi, just be bi. You know what I mean? Like, we know you're DL, but like, if you're bi, just be bi. Because you know what I mean? Like, all that repressed sexual energy, you're torturing women out here at this point. Like, go dip your toes in the waters. Go dip your toes in the waters.
See, these are the type of women who will be like, oh, I had an experience with a girl. ate some cat before. I let a girl eat my cat before. I was in a relationship with a woman before. I'm bi sometimes, but then the minute a man is bi, it's a problem. It's an issue. The minute a man admit that he like a D, like some D a little bit every now and then, now all of a sudden that's a problem. See, just like how you want somebody to give you grace for having an experience with a woman, you should give these men grace as well for having an experience with a man. These be the same women who be like having a hot girl summer in Miami, getting ran through by a bunch of different men, and then they want grace and they want to be DL about that past, about being ran through in the past and their body counts. But when it comes to them marrying a man or something like that, like a quote unquote good guy, so like a guy with a good job, a guy with a good career, a guy who's got a lot going for him, he's educated, those are the type of men that they want to get married to. But see, when one of those guys reject them because they got ran through by a bunch of different men, they get mad. Oh my God, why can't you give me grace? Why are you judging me by my past? Yeah, see, so just like how you want grace for your high body counts is, you should give these men grace for being bi and having an experience one time with one man before in the past. Okay, he tried it and maybe it wasn't for him, or he tried it and maybe he did like it, but he likes both men and women, turned on by both men and women. All right. Now, I'm not saying that this lady on the screen is ran through. I'm not saying that. I don't even know her. But I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of women who think like this and like to mock by men, by sexuality. They like to look down on them. They like to, make jokes. And you see how she was like, oh, be hot, be who you are for your pride. Like, that meme or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Crashing out. They crashing out in 2026. Tell you, these women.
In DL is by only way that women contribute to men being DL is by not having sex with bisexual men, by creating a boundary about what women find sexually attractive. Men want to lie to women to have access to women. That is not women's fault. Men do not want to live in their truth. There are women.
So it's okay for you to have your standards about what you find attractive and what you don't find attractive, but it's not okay for that bisexual man to have his standards and what he like and what he find attractive. It goes both ways, sis. If this man sees a beautiful woman, he's gonna pursue her because he's interested in women. It is what it is. Whether he has been with a man before or not, he shouldn't have to restrict himself to only this or only that or whatever it is based on what you say and what you want and what you feel comfortable with. No, just like how you don't allow nobody to dictate and tell you who you could date and who you can't date, he don't have to do it either, sis. All right, respectfully.
They're true. There are women who like bisexual men, but they don't want to be with those women. They want to be with the women that they want to be with.
How do you know?
Because those are the women they want to control. This concept.
Child, she just, again, crashing out. Crashiana. It's like nobody said anything about trying to control nobody. We're talking about dating. See how they trying to conflate the conversation, try to turn it into something else that it never was. And then what happens when these men, like I said, what happens when these men do tell y'all that they bisexual? What you gonna do, huh? Or you gonna be like, oh, I'm not interested? You gonna say you're not interested? Like 90% of y'all gonna be like, y'all not interested. You're gonna ghost him, or you're gonna make fun of him behind his back or to his face sometimes. And then you're gonna be like, oh, there's a woman out there for you one day, okay? And then the next woman does the same thing. Because, oh, I'm not into bi men, I'm not into bi women. Meanwhile, you've been out here eating cat your whole life. You had some cat yesterday, okay? You was in a whole relationship with a woman last year, and yet when a man has an experience one time or twice with a man and he says, okay, I like women more than I like men, it's a problem and he's not dateable? No. And this is why they be DL. This is why they lie to y'all, because look at how y'all act when they are honest. Okay, what incentive do they have to be honest with y'all? Y'all not giving no grace, but y'all want all the grace in the world. Bullshit. Keep the same energy, sis. Keep the same energy. Bisexual men are 100% capable of being faithful. Y'all think just because a man say that he bi automatically mean he want to sleep with a bunch of people, he gonna cheat on you with different men and different women at all at the same time. No, he's in a relationship with you at the moment, currently, and he's gonna be faithful to you at the moment. Now, when you guys break up, now he may go with a man, or he may go with another woman. Who knows? It depends. But they are. It doesn't mean unfaithful just because a man is bi. That's another thing that y'all be doing and conflating. RIP, moment of silence for the woman on the screen's hopes and dreams and fantasy, because she was lied to. All these women out here today have been lied to. She thought and was told and was raised to believe that all men are heterosexual and that they all want vajayjay, and that the percentage of men who are actually attracted to other men is so small that it's not even worth mentioning. She is finding out that most of these men are bisexual. Most of these men do swing both ways. Most of these men would sleep with a man or do something sexual with a man, whether it be some head, whether it be busting cheeks open behind closed doors. Yeah, absolutely. And they range from being real feminine to like Saucy Santana, from Saucy Santana to Jeffree Star to James Charles on here on YouTube, to real masculine, hyper masculine, like your favorite rapper. I don't know, 50 Cent, Young Buck, Dr. Dre, I don't know, the Migos, whoever, they be just like those kind of dudes too, and they into other dudes. Yes, absolutely. And this destroys their fantasy. This destroys their mentality of, okay, poom poom being the most powerful thing in the world. They could change the world with their poom poom. They could keep a man with their poom poom. They could, they could give a man a child, and that's going to keep him faithful. That's going to make him lies. When in the history of humankind has having a dude's baby ever made him stay with you or be with you or, kept him from cheating on you? It never has. Okay. And of course, there's the ultimate devastation, right? These women, they already been competing with other women, right? They've been competing with other black women. First, it was light-skinned women, right? They was competing with light-skinned women. Then the big boogeyman of the 90s and the early 2000s was white women, right? That was the big, oh my God, that was the big, like, oh, because that was the narrative. That was the narrative, right? Like, oh, these white women, they're taking our good black men. Remember that? If who's old enough to remember that? Yeah, that was the narrative. You remember Save the Last Dance? That silly movie, that terrible movie, but that was what that kind of helped promote that narrative, because in that movie, Mekhi Phifer, I think it was, he was like this black man who was really ambitious and talking about starting a business and all this kind of stuff or something like that. He would give all of that ambition and success to a non-black woman, right? Like that was the thing that we got, like, Kobe Bryant and all these people who gave all his wealth and his estate to a non-black woman, right? In that case, that was she's a Latina, right? But yeah, and so now, fast forward to 2026, these women are realizing that a lot of these men are gay. Okay, bisexual, and yes, they will indeed sleep with a man, right? And also, they will sleep with a trans woman, or that they are attracted to trans women. They are legit turned on and trans attracted, and that, I'm sure, really is confusing them, or not confusing them, but like they're just unable to wrap their minds around why a man will be turned on by trans women or whatever, because, well, at the end of the day, ma'am, you're not a man, okay? You don't understand men. You thought you did, but you don't. You only understand a part of them, which is the side that likes vajayjay or likes women, but you don't know the other side that like the D. See, I'm here to talk to you about that part, okay? That's what this channel is for, okay? Yes, these men like each other, and they like trans women as well, and they like women of other races. Yes, compete. You have to compete, and I think that's the biggest issue right there. With this, just more competition for the black men of their dreams, or whatever it is that they're thinking about. Because a lot of black women, they just kind of only think about being with a black man and all that stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful, but you gotta understand. Our community is not like other communities. We have a very unique community, okay, with a unique set of issues and ideologies that many of our people have, different experiences, and just black men, they just overall they're not really on that like that. Like black men will be with women of any race. And this is across the board. They'll hit anything, right? Just about when it comes to the land of women, they don't really get caught up in that sort of things too much. I mean, they might lie and be like, oh yeah, I only want to date such and such and such and such, but then you look at their Instagram and it'll be filled with women of a rainbow, a sea of different women of different races. If you look at their Instagram or what they're looking at on Twitter, yeah. And these women, they'll lie. They'll be like, oh no, we're not worried about competition. We're not in no competition with no man. We're not doing that. They'll say that, but their actions speak other words, because, if there was no competition that you really didn't feel towards trans women or towards, I guess, other men now, gay men or whatever, the men being bisexual, your baby daddy potentially being bisexual, then you wouldn't have this animosity towards the LGBTQ community. You wouldn't have that. Because remember, they had animosity towards white women in the beginning earlier, right? But now that kind of has died down a little bit because, well, we're just so used to seeing a black man with a white woman that it's just, we don't even fight it no more. We understand that those black men who want to be with a white woman, there's nothing you can do to stop them or shame them from doing that. So now the new shame game is to try to shame the men out of dating trans women. By overemphasizing what they are biologically, or that's a man, because that's going to try to trigger the men from being gay or whatever, because you're trying to, we know how hyper masculine black men tend to be. So you see, if you get gay, like that's like the worst thing in the world, right? No, these men know, ladies, these men know. The men who are trans attracted, they actually seek out trans women. They seek them out on social media. They're in their DMs, and they know very much so that what these women are. Okay, they know what they are, and they like it. That's why they're seeking them out. That's why they're on their pages. That's why they're DMing them. Okay, and just to be clear, listen, I know not all black women think like this. There's some really chill, cool black women out there. But I'm just talking to the ones who make these videos, who talk about DL men and talk about men being bi, and they be throwing shade at bi men. They be like, oh, trying to emasculate bi men, and that's trying to make them feel some type of way for being bi. It's like they're basically trying to shame them. All they're doing is trying to shame these men to come back to them. And it's like, listen, black women in the early 2000s did that. They did that in the early 2000s when it came to white women. Oh, they would try to use the race card, and you need to be with the community, and you need to, we need to build up the community, and this and this and that, kumbaya, right? To try to shame those black men who want to be with white women, and it didn't work. Did it? Look at where we're at today in 2026. Did that work? Huh, ladies? No, it did not work. So the men who want to be with trans women, you can't shame them. You can't, because most men, who seek out these trans women, that's another thing. They are controlled by their peen. Okay, and when a man is controlled by his peen, ladies, there's nothing that you can do to stop him. He will not destroy, but he will destroy. He will run over and trample anything and anyone in his path to get to that nut. Okay, he will. A man is not, when he's controlled by his peen, he can't think clearly, and he does things that he would not do post nut, with the post nut clarity, right? But before nut, pre nut clarity, there is no clarity. It's just one thing. It's like a fog that he's walking through a foggy night in San Francisco, and he can't really see clearly until the nut he reached that nut, And so you can't control a man like that, ladies. You can't control these men. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, these women, they don't want trans women to have acceptance in society, because that's going to give the green light to those men to be with those women openly, those trans women openly, and they don't want that, because that's like legitimizing these women as trans women as like legit competition, and they don't want that. They want to keep them in the closet. They want to keep shame up. They want to keep the homophobia up. They want to keep the transphobia up, because that's going to keep the competition low. okay, for the men, the black men of their dreams or the men of their dreams or whatever, right? Notice how, and I hate to do this, but I just have to bring it. If we're gonna have the conversation, we're gonna have the conversation, okay? Notice how other races of women, right? White women, Latina women, Asian women, right? These women, Arab women, whatever, all women, right? That's not black. They never have all these videos on TikTok about that's anti-trans or anti-LGBT. Like they do have some out there. I can find a couple, right? But as far as a huge camp of them coming out in droves going against trans women and going against gay men and the men being gay and all that stuff and our men is DL and the DL conversation and all that kind of stuff, right? They don't really have that. Have you ever asked yourself why though? And I have looked into the trans woman conversation online between white women and black women. White women are mainly talking about politics. They're mainly talking about the bathroom, trans women in the bathroom, or playing women's sports. Black women are more so focused on men being DL and just simply being attracted to trans women or being trans attracted. And they worried about if their baby daddy is DL, it might be attracted to trans women behind her back, or might be gay, secretly mess around with these gay men out here. They're not talking about politics on the black women's side. So it's two different places where these women stand. One is like desirability, the other one is more like political. But have you ever asked yourself why that is? What it is I'll tell you why they don't do that. Because see, let's take white women for example. White women know that they have their own men, race of men, white men, right, who want them, right? Then they know that they could always get a black man. Somewhere in the world, anywhere in the world, in the universe, it's going to be a black man out there that's going to want them, right? Okay. Then they got other races of men that are of color, that are non-white, that want them as well. Arab men, Latino men, whatever other men that exist that's not white, they want like white women too, whether it be legit reasons or maybe they just want to lighten up, have some light-skinned kids or with some more Eurocentric features or whatever. Whatever the case is, they want those women, and those white women know this, and so they never feel like, oh, I can't get a man or whatever. It's competition. No, they know they could always get a man, and this is kind of something similar to other non-black women of other races, like Latina women and Asian women. Latina women, everybody wants Latina women, right? Everybody, it's they can find a man. Their own men, of course, want them, and then you got, of course, black men, right, who want the Latinas, and then the thick Latinas and stuff, and then Asian women. White men. Oh my God, they love them Asian women, right? They do. So we've seen that since the early 2000s of these, the white man, the Asian woman combo. Yeah, that's really a thing. So that's always been a thing, right? So. But it's like when it comes to black women, it's different. It's a little bit different. There seems to be like a scarcity mindset when it comes to like getting a man or competition. I feel like mainly it's due to being monocultural and only wanting to do everything black, like just only want a black man and only want to live amongst black people and only want to go to school with other black people, like kind of like a separatist mindset, like only want black. And that's fine. It's good to have pride and stuff like that, but also you just got to keep in mind the world that we live in, how it's multicultural, number one, and then number two, you have to look at what your men are doing and how your men view, like, do your black men have the same views as you? Just only want to do black this, black that, black blah, blah. No, they don't. And I truly don't believe they do. Unless they're pandering to you, like Dr. Umar Johnson or somebody like that, or somebody trying to get a black man trying to get a quick come up off of you guys. They'll talk that black stuff. So you guys can donate and open up your pocketbooks. But then it's like, well, do they really live that though? And we see how they move, right? We see how they move. That it's not really like that with them, the way they move. Actions speak louder than words. These guys, they may say that, oh yeah, I only want to do black, but then it's like, you look at how they move, look at how they talk on social media, look at their internet search history, look at what they're. You see what I'm saying? What is that man thinking? What's that black man thinking, right? Is he really this way? Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. But listen, these are my thoughts, my opinions on my channel that I'm sharing. You can agree, you can disagree, whatever. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do you agree with what I'm saying, or do you disagree with what I'm saying? Let me know. I just kind of wanted to provide a little bit more of nuance to the conversation around DL men and why there's so much pushback in the Black community towards the DL men and men, the idea of a Black man being gay, and why it's such a issue. A lot of it is competition. A lot of it's competition. I feel as though if these women felt like they had Black women felt like they had the same amount of options as other races of women, then there wouldn't be this scarcity mindset, and there wouldn't be this huge discourse over uh, a man being like individual men being DL or gay or whatever, because you're like, so what? Okay, he gay. Okay, but I can get a man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, yes, there are non-Black women who do have an issue with men being gay too. But notice they're usually slightly seasoned, or I should say older, right? And where they feel like they have less options, and that's usually the women who I see complaining who are non-Black about gay stuff, usually younger women, especially young white women who fit the quote unquote beauty standard of that's promoted, right? We all know what the beauty standard is, right? More Eurocentric. Those women, they don't care. I promise you they don't care, because they can get a man with no problem. Same with Latina women, same with other races of women, right? But then, and even, Black women, it's bad. It's some real good looking Black women out there, you know what I'm saying? But who have men in their DMs, absolutely. And I'm not going to deny that. But those Black women are not complaining. It's the ones that they have a certain look or whatever, and they are just kind of on here complaining about men being DL. They always have a look to them, if you notice that. I'm just saying, yeah, it's not just any Black women, it's a certain, what I'm saying? So listen, and it's okay, it's okay to have, you can look how you want to look, but I'm just pointing out a pattern that I've noticed, okay? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, you know who it is. It's Zesty DL, baby, okay? Giving it to you real, okay? We having this conversation about DL men, okay? And it's Pride Month, and we will not accept any homophobia whatsoever out here in these streets, okay? This is our month, okay? The month for Pride, okay? Be who you want. Shout out to all the DL men. Okay. Hopefully one day you will live your truth, okay? But anyway, let me know what you think about everything that was discussed in this video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I know it's gonna be a bunch of people that's probably gonna disagree, but let me know. Tell me why. Why do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments. All right. Like, comment, share, subscribe for more content. I'm Zesty DL. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.